First of all, I would like to welcome all of you to this program, to the session. Normally people say post-lunch session is a graveyard session, right? Because after lunch it's very difficult to keep yourself awake. But after having given more than hundreds of education sessions and keynote addresses, I realized that pre-lunch session is the most difficult session for a speaker. But at least post-lunch session, you allow the people to sleep. Pre-lunch session, people can't sleep because they have to wait for lunch to happen. And they'll be cursing the speaker saying that, so it's two types of problem for the speaker actually, but I'll try and still make sure that you sleep so that you don't have any idea about when the lunch will happen. So, I wanted to be different, so I thought I should start the presentation with a thank you. I know it actually is a problem. When I tried the same technique in my office, two people stood up thinking that the presentation was I had to clarify saying that no, basically I wanted to do something different, somehow. So that's why I wanted to basically start with a thank you. But I want to start the thanks to Satya. He basically made me run, and I'm sure when you go and see my Facebook post, 2 times I have attended marathon so far, 10-kilometer run, and I owe the entire game to Satya. In fact, I thought I should give my medal also too, because without him I wouldn't have run. And I also want to thank the other 2 partners for having me here. Thank you, sirs, for inviting me to this place. And then I also feel very happy. I don't know why this screen is not so proper. Sharing stage with legends, all those people who gave some excellent sessions today. I'm so happy to get a lot of inputs here. And some of you would have been wondering, saying that what am I sitting in the back and doing? When Satya called me to the front and I didn't come here. And last but not the least, the cats and the catalyst of GSS, who are these people, the cats and catalysts of GSS? And if some pictures are not missing, then maybe you can look for your name in this. I want to set some ground rule before I get into my actual presentation. Ground rule 1, I don't know why, can I just try and check? By the time I had already gotten into job 6 months, 1 year over, and then I asked her, I was a little angry with her saying that, why did you tell me immediately after graduation over? I actually would have gotten into that now. Then after I started looking at chartered accountants over the last so many years, actually I'm more angry with my mom. Because I feel, how can she ever think of asking me to do something like that? It is impossible for me to even complete the C, forget about the A part of the C actually. It was very difficult for me. And do you know how many CS are there in this country? So I think 2022 figure says 3,80,000. If the figure is wrong, please blame Google, not me. Right? 3,80,000. And what percentage is that of the Indian population? You guys are good at numbers, right? So it's 0.03% of the Indian population of 1.4 billion is what chartered accountants are. You are actually a wonderful minority, right? It's called meaningful minority, I call. 3,80,000 doctors are 1.5 million. And any other professionals you take is quite large number, but to have 3,80,000, to be one of the 3,80,000 people and maybe 5 lakh aspirants, they say. So even if you are part of the aspirants at this point of time, to be part of that 0.03 or 3.5% of 0.0035% of the Indian population is amazing. So I'm feeling so happy and thrilled to be part of this group today. Thank you. I found this the E factor. How many of you have seen this, familiar with this chart? I'm sure you would have seen this in your 10th standard itself, right? Yeah, I mean, don't think I'm asking questions. I don't have the guts to ask questions to see chartered accountants, but I'm sure you would have seen this, right? What is the relevance of this? Any idea? Anybody can tell me what does this signify? Because it's used more in real life in many organizations when compared to what it was in school for education. Can you tell me what is the relevance of this? Yeah.
So from the start it will be slow down, and then you will grow to the maximum point, and then you will decline.
Okay. That's a good one.
Find the deviations.
Okay. So now what happens is in any organization if you go, you will find people divided into three major groups actually. And this is true for any industry, it is true for any aspect of our life also. And there will be a small set of people. Imagine if there are 100 people who are coming into an industry, 100 industries are coming into a particular field. There will be some set of people, say for sake of numbers, you can take it as a 5% or 10%, the number is not exact. 5% to 10% of people will exit immediately. They will not continue to be there for a long period of time. Okay? And in an organization also, if you find when you look at the appraisal, there will be 5 to 10% of people who will be below expectations are people who actually are in the exit category. And a vast majority of the people will be in the exist category. Right? And these exist and these names are my own creation. But I'm saying there are people who actually will just remain as it is and they sustain. And they continue to be doing a mediocre job and they'll do it. So that's the people who are meeting expectation in an organization. Right? They are in the exist category. But only a small percentage of people, again another 5 to 10% of people, whom I say belong to the excite category. Okay? And if you take any aspect, if 100 conductors come to start acting in movies, there will be 5 of them who will go away. And the vast majority of people who will continue to be in the acting field, there will be few people who will actually become the superstar. That's all. You take any cricketers also, an academy, there will be 100 people who will come into an academy. There will be 5 people who will start playing in the first few months itself. Vast majority of them will keep playing, but there will be 5-10% of people who will actually become champions in the world. And you take any segment in this world, politicians, cricketers, players, anything, industries, anything. This actually is the mantra of our life, I should say. So the most important thing is you need to understand which organization you are working and where does that organization get into. So to ask GSS, where would you place them? In the exit category, exist category, or excite category? Well, not so excited about that. Excite, right? Agree?
Yes, sir.
Why do you call them to be in the excite category? What are some of the features of this excite category?
Mentoring from the partners.
Sorry?
Mentoring from the partners.
Very good.
Making happen a meet like GSS meet is also one of the things.
Excellent, right? So there could be many things which will differentiate people or industries or companies and organizations to be in that excite category when compared to the other categories as such. The beauty is people who are in the excite category are those who become inspiration for people in this world. They become inspiration for people in the exist category and the exit category. Right? And it is those one superstar or those few people who actually become champions inspire everybody else in that particular industry. And that is why I say when you call people or companies to be in the excite category, it means it will set benchmark for other companies and other people to follow. Do you think by that formula GSS comes in the excite category? Yes. So which means in whatever the organization does, when somebody told that the first time when we go to audit, we get respect. That's an example of being in the excite category, right? Because you are looked up to. That somebody is coming from GSS, you are looked up to, and that is why you are in the excite category. But the key question is, where will you position yourself? Every single day, can you ask this question to yourself, are you in the excite category? Right? And there are people who despite being in the category where the organization they exit and exist category, and if they stay in the excite category and they will stand out. So that's why even in a team like Afghanistan, for who plays cricket, they may probably not be the best of teams actually, and there will be one or two people who will be stars and who will come to IPL and play. Correct? So even though the organization or the fraternity is in the exit and exist category, an individual in the excite category will stand out. But the deadliest combination will be if the organization is in the excite category and you remain in the excite category, it's like a combination of Ferrari with Schumacher. You'll always be number one. And throughout your life, this is something which you need to keep in your mind. How can you keep yourself in the excite category every single day? And you can have different approaches in life. I'll come to it a little later. The attitude and the approach to life could be very different. But how can you make yourself stay in that excite category? And that's something which is very important. Now, this is my career graph so far. I started as a sales representative, as I told you, in 1990-91, and I've moved across. I've been, this is my fourth avatar, if I have to talk about, and I worked for Ambaxi, then worked for Allergan for almost 21 years. Then now I got multiple roles, including some I've created to myself. And I'm going to talk about some of my experiences into 3 different rules that I put here, which could be useful for you in your life, and that has got nothing to do with what you're doing in your, it's not technical if I have to look at. But the 3 rules that I want to talk about is the first one, grow. How do you grow? And I've got a simple formula in my life which I adopted. I'm sure many of you would have seen this if you have been part of any management education. This is called Maslow's need hierarchy. Right? Have you seen this? Does anybody know Maslow's need hierarchy? What it says is, it actually divides the needs into a pyramid. So the basic needs are the physiological needs, which is kana, kapra, makan, right? And then you have the safety needs, love, belonging, esteem, and self-actualization. So which means, unless the basic need is fulfilled, you will not be interested in looking at the society and all that, right? So without food, you cannot expect somebody to love. Right? It's not possible. So unless this is fulfilled, this is not possible. So this is how the thing goes. And somebody who probably reached this stage is self-actualization. They ask questions, who am I, what is my purpose of life, and all these questions will come at some point of time. When you have enough money and all that, and that's where you reach. So I decided to have my own hierarchy of needs when I started my career. The first and foremost thing, can you guess what it is? Needs. What are the basic needs? Sorry? Money. Right? Somebody got it right. So, and especially chartered accountants, no, it's important that money, without money, nothing is possible in this world. And it is mandatory. You cannot feel happy and love if money is not available. Money is not there, especially when you put in so many years of effort with the articleship and all that. It's important that you need to actually start looking at that. But the second most important thing that I started looking at is building my career. And if you look at my career graph which I showed you, I made sure that not more than 2 endeavors of mine will be the same. So which means every 3rd year I had a role change or a grade change in my life. And I made sure that I am actually keeping myself active that way. But the beauty in this is, when you are chasing money, you will not get career. But when you are chasing career, you are assured of money. That's the most important thing I want you to remember. So if you are going to just chase money for the sake of chasing money, you may not get your career. But when you are chasing career, you are likely to get large amount of money as well. But the most important thing that I realized that which really helped me grow significantly is something called kick. Right? And in every aspect of my life, this is one thing which pushed me to become very, very successful. And again, the beauty is, when you actually are chasing money, you may not get career and kick. When you are chasing career, you may get money but not kick. But when you are chasing kick, you are assured of career and money as well. And people ask me, what is this thing called kick? Every time when my boss gives me my target sheet, typical conventional relationship between a boss and a subordinate is, Boss will give a target sheet and then the subordinate will say, sir, itna jada target de diya. How will I be able to achieve? The market situation is not very good and all that. Whatever target was given to me in the last 30 years so far, I immediately asked my boss, can you tell me how can I achieve 105% of this? My bosses will always find it difficult to talk to me because normally they will come expecting saying that there will be some critique that will happen, right? I immediately asked my boss saying that, can you tell me how can I achieve 105% of this year's target? And they will actually think for a few minutes before answering me, right? And then how do I move when people don't even ask you? For example, I had a team of 400 people when I was the managing director. I went and asked the regional president saying that last year around 111 people achieved target. This year I want 222 people to achieve target. See, nobody is going to ask the managing director of the company saying that how many people in your team will achieve. Whether you will achieve your target, or the country will achieve target or not, only will ask. But I went and told him that I want not just 111 people to achieve last year, but everybody gets one more person. So 222 people will achieve. Now the question is, when I am thinking of 222 people achieve, my thinking becomes different when compared to when I am chasing money and my career. And in the process, my interaction with people become different, my interaction with customers become different, my looking at products become very different. So that is why you actually have to have a need hierarchy which is drawn by yourself. Now my question is, what's your need hierarchy? I'm sure it could be the same for somebody, it could be something else for you. How can you actually become an expert in what you're doing? And that is something which is very important. Now, why is it so important? I ask this question to people. What is this monument which is there behind? Good, everybody knows that, right? And this is one of the 7 wonders of the world. And they have 3 good-looking people in the foreground. Suppose if we give a high quality, high resolution, well-framed picture of this, how many of you will take this home? Nobody. Right? Why? That's good. How many of you will take this picture home? The beauty is, even if there is a monument, you need to be in the picture. Otherwise, the picture has got no value. And that is why I retain this picture forever. See, this was taken when all of us in the organization went to Taj Mahal. Some 450 of us went. And from almost 1 kilometer distance, the photographer took the picture. And we all look like one small insect, right? And sometimes the picture is given. I know some of my colleagues were cursing the photographer because they were turning somewhere else and the photographer had taken the picture. And little did they realize that when the picture goes to another person, he will look for his own picture. And not others. And this is where I am. Of course, you can easily identify me because I am the only person with grey hair there, otherwise everybody else has black hair. But the beauty is, this picture is more important, more valuable to me than the one which I showed you in the first. Even though the monument is very well seen there, even though there are 3 or 4 good looking people who are there in that picture, if you are not there in the picture, it makes no sense. So unless otherwise you achieve success in your life, organization success is of no value to you. You will not be able to feel proud unless you are happy. You will not be able to feel happy about the organization success unless you are successful in what you are doing. So it is very important for you to establish your own hierarchy of needs and decide as to how you will actually become very successful. And that's the ground rule. So grow with that particular aspect in mind. And then the second one is spread. When I say spread, I think this happens to many professionals, especially people who actually have this high intensity courses, naturally tend to put all their life and time, effort into that. But I strongly believe it is important that you need to spread your core or spread your expertise beyond your core. And it has to start from the beginning itself. You cannot say that, okay, at the age of 40, 45, 50, when I achieve something in life, then I start expanding. I I will tell you what all I have done. Maybe I'll give you some example of what I have done. See, I have been part of some international speech contests and Toastmasters over the last so many years, from 2006 to 2021. Every single year, except for the 2 years where I was traveling outside India, I could not. But otherwise, every single year, I actually have participated at the club level, area level, division level, district level, semi-finals and final in my international speech contest. And why do I have to take public speaking? I was always successful because I started my career in 1990 and you saw meteoric rise in my career, and I took up Toastmasters in the year 2006. Why did I have to do that? I realized that what you do in a non-core area or in another core that you pick up actually has a huge impact on what you're doing in the core. And that is something which is very, very important. And even in this, international speech contest is something which is motivational in nature, where you have to pick up a message and talk to people. I went and spoke in humorous speeches also. Can you believe somebody like me talking about humorous speech? People look at me and then say, you look so grumpy, I look so serious, right? Nobody will believe that if I actually go to a humorous speech and then I can become a winner. But I did. And I realized then, being very serious and having a very grumpy face is good for humorous. Because you make others laugh and you don't laugh. And people come and ask me, how come you are not laughing? I say, I laugh, but you can't see. That's a design of my face. Right? And that's very important. So I tried something which is beyond my core area. I tried something which is beyond my comfort zone. I pushed myself into it. And that started helping me in my core. So I was able to connect better with my people in the organization. So I once went, when 5 directors were presenting, my managing director presented first, I was one of the business unit directors, 4 other directors presented, and I was called the 5th. And everybody had a PPT. I just went up on stage and I rattled all the 111 names in the year 2012, and I came down from stage and I had a standing ovation. Because I wanted to try something different to make myself believe that I am capable of far more. And that's very important. And then I took up running also. Again, you can clap for Satya, if not for me. And this is again something which actually makes you feel far more accomplished. And it is like a vicious cycle. The more accomplishment you will have, even in small things in life, you will feel more confident. And that confidence actually makes you more capable. And it's not true only in running, but it will help you in the other aspects of life itself. Many times I keep talking to Satya, at 6:30 in the morning, we have achieved much more than what many others sleeping in the city have actually done, right? Wake up at 4:30, go at 5 o'clock, finish your running, and 6:30 when you are tired and you go back home, you feel far energized because you know that so many others at home are also sleeping. You get that confidence, and that's something which is very important. But people keep asking this question, how much time to give for all this, right? Because we have studies to do, we have to manage articleship, we have to manage audit, so many things are there. And I immediately ask this question back, if I have to ask for a percentage of how important is running for your health important in your life, what percentage will you give? Can anybody tell me? What percentage will you give in your life for your health? Give me a number. You cannot, but if I have to give some weightage, your business is maybe your core subject would be 50-60% weightage. What percentage you will give for your health? 70? Anybody else? Okay, excellent. Very good. Anybody else percentage? Health. Very good. Percentage? Anybody? What percentage weightage you will give for your health in your life? 75? So I am saying, if at all you give 5% weightage to anything in your life, okay? And you just, I am assuming that the same 5% weightage that you give to your life, you give to Correct? Like how sir said, if you are giving 5% of weightage to your life and you give 5% of weightage in a day, what is 5% of 24 hours? So you need to actually give 1.2 hours a day, 8.4 hours a week, and 1.5 days a month and 18 days a year. All you need to have a 5% focus, that's all. So if you want to take up public speaking, just give 5% time. It will help the biggest thing in a large way in the bigger responsibilities of your life. But if you don't have 5% time to be given, then there is something seriously wrong. You know what is the average screen time of mobile users in a day in this country? 4.7 hours. 4.7 hours is the average screen time, and that doesn't include the mobile call time.
Many of us are, I think, probably better than average.
Sorry, sir?
Many of us are probably better than average.
Yeah, more than average. We actually contribute to the increase in average, right? So what is 4.7 hours? You are actually spending 20% of our time in a day on some activity or the other. I'm not saying it's useless, but because it's important. But look at 5% of time if you are giving to something beyond core. It's very, very important. It makes a huge difference to your life. Okay, it could be yoga, it could be public speaking, it could be Rotary, anything. I leave that to you. But make sure you are not compromising others at this stage. And it can make a huge difference. And then the third point is okay. Again, many people say that when they achieve some stage, they'll serve and start contributing to this world and all that. And when I say serve, I'm not talking about money. Or not just money. You can serve in as many ways as possible. And you don't need to be a subject expert also to serve. And I'm going to put one slide next. As I keep giving those details, you'll automatically know which person I'm talking about. And then I'll talk about why I like this person for what he has done. Somebody was born on 15th October 1931, St. Joseph's College, Madras Institute of Technology, Aerospace Engineering, DRDO, ISRO, Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan, Bharat Ratna, V. Savarkar Award. Right, at 25th July 2002, at the age of 71, he became the President of India. Right, we all know whom I'm talking about, right? This is President Abdul Kalam. Now, the beauty of this gentleman is, till the age of 71, maybe a few days before 25th July 2002, he wouldn't have thought that he become the President of the country, right? He wouldn't have thought. And because he's neither a politician, nor an administrative person, nor somebody who actually was having leadership role in DRDO, ISRO and all that, he was just a scientist doing a great job. Even he didn't realize that he's going to become president. So my point is, even at the age of 71, something new can happen in your life. Are we prepared to do that? That's one question. But the second most important point is, he served by sprinkling this fragrance. If I today ask you just to close your eyes for 30 seconds and which president is the best president of the country, I'm sure Abdul Kalam's name will come, at least with more than 90% of people, right? And there are so many presidents who have come after that, and if I ask you who's the current president, we have to think twice. What did he do so much to be remembered for so many years? In fact, if he had completed in 2007, we're talking 16 years later, and he's not even alive. And mind you, he's not known for his Padma Bhushan, Bharat Ratna, Visa. We are not remembering him for that. We remember him for being the president of the country, for which he didn't give any basic capabilities, right? In terms of not being a politician, not being an administrator, not being a leader. What did he do so much? for him actually to be remembered for this long.
It's fine.
He just spread this fragrance. So many of the professionals, especially since I work in the healthcare industry, doctors keep talking about no, we can't do marketing. I'm not saying don't do marketing. I'm sure there are limitations for you people as well. There's no marketing not possible. But you can spread your fragrance. You can serve by spreading the fragrance. How can you do that? In the most economical way, in the cheapest possible way, and in the free possible way, you can actually spread your fragrance to people. And what he did, he went and told people, dream. Wherever he went and told was dream. Don't sleep and dream, wake up and dream. And that's all he did, and he lived by their example. He started actually teaching people. And somebody told that I have been, from being a teacher, I have become a mentor now. I like that. Because when you're mentoring people, you set a framework for them to actually shape their life differently. So how can you spread or serve to people by spreading what you have? Why cannot you be a blogger who can actually write many things in the area that you are expert? Why cannot you go and teach in an institute where you actually, whatever you have learned from GSS, you can actually spread it to people? And not just about the technical subject I am talking about. How can I easily prepare for CA exam could be something which you can tell people so that the aspirants will be able to pass. And that will make a huge difference. So what are the three things that we spoke about today? And I have made it very easy for you to remember also, right? That's why I put it in the beginning itself. Grow. In grow, what do you think you should be doing? You define your hierarchy of needs, right? What is important for you depending upon your social status, depending upon your financial status and all that. What's very important? How do you want to take that expertise? The second one is spread. Spread your impact, spread your areas of core. Don't just remain in one core, it's not going to help. And I don't believe in work-life balance. There's nothing called 50% and all. At every point of time, there will be some priority which will actually be higher and that will give more time. And that's how it is. Right? So it doesn't mean that, okay, 8 hours you work and 8 hours you have to spend with family, nothing. If you spend so much time with family, family will start chasing you out actually. Keep that in mind. Family doesn't need so much time. I'm telling you, it doesn't need so much time. But when you're spending time with family, spend quality time. That's very important. At some point of time when there is a function at home or there is some wedding in the family, that time you need to spend more time when compared to what you spend at work. And that is balance. Not that every week we should not be looking at, okay, 40 hours I spent at work, 40 hours I spent with family. It doesn't work that way. That's not balance. The third point is serve. And when you do all this, your mind becomes very powerful in achieving something phenomenal. And don't accept anything which is impossible. And especially for CE people, it is very important. Because there could be too many distractions and too many demotivating factors which will be there. Your mind is phenomenally capable of doing many things. And I will tell you how I pushed myself in my mind. January 23, 1993 was the last time I took sick leave in my life. How many years now? 30 years. Totally 30 years I have not taken a single day sick leave. How is it possible? It's possible. So even fever will come to me on a Friday night and will go away on a Sunday night or Monday morning. I don't allow my illness to actually dominate me. I had jaundice in 2010. I went on a Monday morning to the doctor. And the doctor told me, you have to take the test. I took the test. Doctor said, bilirubin count is high, jaundice. I said, I will do anything in this world, but I will not take leave. Not possible. I told the doctor. Doctor said, the rest is the most important. I said, I will not take leave. And I had 5.4 bilirubin. Now, bilirubin normal level is 1.2 or something. 5.4 bilirubin I had. And I went and told my people that I got jaundice. And the doctor said that don't take any oily food and all that. And the kira is very useful for that. And my team members, they showed excess love and they got some 10 kgs of care for me. Every employee got one bundle of care for me. And you will not believe, for the next 4 days, I had 2 idlis every day, and then kheer only like a goat I was eating. I used to take that home, put it in a mixie, make juice and drink it. Saturday evening, I took my report to the doctor. Doctor said it's impossible for you to have this kind of report. My bilirubin had come below 1.2. And Sunday morning I flew to China. Well, my family members were not ready to send me. Doctor said, with this guy I can't stop him, let him go. So your disease will actually run away. Your body will listen to you if you have that strong focus in mind. And I'm just giving some examples. There's so many things that you can do in your life which can actually change significantly if you're able to focus on your mind to get something significantly strong. And when it is capable, why allow that not to take over? Why don't you give that opportunity to that mind to make it very strong? And especially for people who are doing CA, it is important that you need to have that strong mind. Because many things can come and demotivate you. It doesn't have to. Many things. And you will experientially notice this in your life. We all of us who are part of this infinitism like this number called 1111, right? I'm sure you know. Because it's a very sacred number for us, 1111. And I got those slides also which I made, but I'm not putting it here. I just thought one day, so whenever I go on the road, I look for this 1111 car numbers, right? I started seeing it maybe 2 months back. The last 75 days, you will not believe, 15 cars. How many years are? 13 cars. 13 cars have come and stood in front of me in the signal. And I've taken pictures. In 60 days. And I immediately WhatsApp it to him and I asked him to keep it in a record. Just to feel happy that what is the probability of you actually seeing a particular car number in front of you in the signal where you are going? It's infinite number of zeros and one, right? But how is it possible for you to see it? And it's not just in Chennai. And I have Coimbatore signal, West Bengal, Calcutta and one signal I got, and immediately I'll send it to you. It's just a game I'm saying, but what you want to see in life, you will see it. And it's called the power. And one coach taught me this power, and I think you should know this acronym. Power is nothing but what you perceive is what you will observe. What you perceive as P is what you will observe, and is what you will wait for with W, is what you will expect, and that's what you will receive. Okay, it can be the smallest thing of looking for a car number. It's so silly, right? But still, to something where you actually can chase your disease away, like something like a jaundice with a bilirubin count of 5 times more. And why would you not want to use the capability given by God, something called mind, to manage what you want to do in life and make it very big? Right? So the rules are grow, spread, and serve. And to make it easy for you to remember, it's just GSS in your life. That's all. And then every single day of your life, reflect the GSS. Every day morning, get up, think of how you'll grow, think of how you'll spread, and think of how you'll serve. And that is something which is very important. And lastly, thank you so much for your wonderful contribution and patient listening. Projected listeners, I enjoyed your participation. Actually, it's really enjoyed it. With this quote of my favorite Guru Mahatya, have pride in how far you have come, have faith in how far you can go. I started with a thank you, right? And I cannot end with a thank you. I want you to welcome you all to a journey of excellence, abundance, and enormous growth. Spread